Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Singularity Escalation, episode 289. Alrighty then. Last week, basically we finished another DLC map, and this week I decided, well, like I said, I was going to do 20 rough episodes, so this should take me into July, not this week, next week's. And if you remember, well, this is episode 19 of them 20, 19 episodes ago at the end of it, well, it was at the start of it, wasn't it? It was at the start of it. I was talking a lot, and I had quite a lot of things to say. It took me roughly 14-15 minutes to talk. Episodes are another 50 minutes. I was like, I'm talking, and you're just going to have basically a blank screen with just the main skirmish menu on the whole time. That's boring. Let me go offline and record a game where I'm not talking, and then let's shove it in here. So as I talk, it plays in the background. And that's what we did. And then I added an extra 15 minutes-ish of that episode where we carried on looking at actually playing, where I talk over it, yada yada. But then I said, at the end of more than likely, since that 15-minute game never got finished on the channel, when I get to episode 20, I was going to show these at the end of it. Then I just looked down and I looked, it was exactly 30 minutes, and we finished pretty well with that last episode. If I start another skirmish map, it's probably going to take me, unless I do the two-player one, what could take a full episode, it might take two. With exception of that one, any other maps I pick is probably going to take me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes. I was like, I want to do 20, I've got other stuff on the channel I need to move on to. So, this is exactly 30 minutes left of this episode, of this, well, this skirmish map I played, as a filler. Why not just have it for the last 2 episodes? And then again, after you've picked and you've decided, or I've picked and decided if I don't get any comments or anything from you lot out there, that after this, not next week's episode, I think it's the 5th of July or the 4th off my head, something like that, the following week's episode will either be more Ashes, or maybe it'll be something else temporarily. Like, it could be Miracle Ashes 2 out and I could do that, but I doubt that. I'm thinking it's 2 or 3 years off for that. But like I said, if I've got some good suggestions from you lot, or something you want me to play in the comments before, I'll be doing that instead. Or I could do the tower defense game of Ashes temporarily, or just carry on doing more Ashes and do the skirmish modes more, and again do the 2-player skirmish. So that's basically where we're up to. For people who just started watching today or a few episodes ago, I said that almost 19 episodes ago, so please put in the comments and said about that. And then again, also for them people, if you haven't watched that episode, my criteria for suggesting a game is something that I own, what you don't know, or theoretically something I can get. There shouldn't be a problem with that, but the main criteria was 2 things. One, it can't get done for copyright, obvious reasons, and it has to be some type of game that doesn't have much setup for. And what I mean by that, that's just a perfect example. Do a new episode, for example, I could just go on a skirmish, boom, do it, play it. I go with a campaign, boom, play it. All the footage, theoretically, unless I get interrupted and I have to cut out and pause, but theoretically, no interruptions, nothing. I can sit down for 15 minutes straight, half an hour straight, boom, there's footage for you. That's what I mean with no prep time. Where something like Kenshi, what I do on the channel is I basically can sit there and I can play for an hour and a half, and that becomes an episode. I could play for 40 minutes, and that's an episode. I could play for 10 minutes, and it's like, and you probably, if you watch that, power of editing, people, I'll be back because I got to get these resources up, and then I play for 3 hours. That doesn't make any episode because that was just gaining resources. That's what I'm talking about, prep time and the game being on forever. Another example, IWD, I do what's generally Pro Wrestling X, Fire Pro Wrestling. I normally have to sit down, work out the storylines for them. That's prep time. I then have to sit down and pull their matches up, do the backstage segments, and depending what they are, for example, a backstage segment, I want Tiger to grab Overlord and powerbomb him off top of the backstage, the stage area. So I have to load a hardcore match up for that because that's where they can climb. I then got to run there, climb up it, climb up. That's already what, 2 or 3 minutes minimum. Now when we're up there, I go to grab him. The goal is I grab him, powerbomb him, boom, done. Bob's your uncle. I can add that to this thing. But sometimes no. I go up there, he blocks me, he throws me off, that doesn't fit the storyline, okay, let's get back up, oh no, he's grabbed me, he's beating me down, that's another 5-8 minutes, like, come on, finally, I get up there, he throws me off again, oh, the game's now glitched, my guy's gone inside out, he's bounced all over the place, he's in the crowd, the two can't touch each other now, There I know. Before I know it, that's 30 minutes gone, 40 minutes gone. We've got to restart the match. Similar thing happens. Like, oh my god. That's just an example of stuff that can go wrong and can cause for prep time. And then on top of that, once I've got everything in right place, and I've got all the backstage speeches done, I then will sit down with Superman Tiffy, and we'll play it from the start, and we'll do the announcing on top of it. And of course, when it gets to the women, she then takes over and goes over what I've said. Sometimes she adds her own things to it. Sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she just says exactly what I say. Sometimes she says it and she kind of forgets to miss some stuff out and just, it makes sense, and let it go. And other times, what makes it laugh sometimes, I remember I've done some bits where, like, hello darlings, I'm the sexiest one of all, you know, for Ruby, for example. And then, but I'm sick and tired of my daughter Jess. And then I'm saying, now I want you to insult Jess, add something here, blah da 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 da, boo, insult Jess, woo woo, and like that, she starts laughing. And Macy, replace this, and now that should be enough time for you. And then she goes over that, and just because the other day I did something like that, and she actually started saying it. She did it as a joke because she kind of got me back with it. She goes, okay, because I said, oh, what was it? It was something along the lines, I've got the idea, and it is. And then she actually started saying what I said. Is blah, 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 say something here. She's not doing that. I said, oh, no. But anyway, that's just an example of what I'm talking about prep time. Sauce is another example. 9 out of 10 when I'm not doing it with priority. If you know, especially the early days, I used to show everything. Bugs galore, how long it takes to get things. Now I try to cut that stuff out because I feel it's a bit boring to watch, but I want it on the channel initially to show you what you go through. But I've noticed when I'm doing priority stuff with him, I tend to keep that in more because we're generally having quite good fun banter, so it stays in more now for that reason. But generally, I will get into Quantum, unless I've got something to tell you, then I'll sit there and tell you it quick, as we travel, and then I'll be quiet and power enemy back in a minute, and then it could be a 10-minute Quantum. It could be, you know, a 5-minute Quantum that gets cut out. It could be I'm trying to pick the location of the map and it's just bugging to high heaven and back. It's taking like 10-20 minutes to pick the location, turning the engine on and off, zooming in and out of the map because it's just being bad that day. And that could be I've just played Star Citizen for 2 hours and I've got 10 minutes of footage. So that means I need to play for another hour. What? Oh, that next hour, that's an hour of gold almost. That's what I'm talking about, games without prep time. And I'm also thinking that because this section's more for Ashes, that's an RTS, people probably like an RTS. But I could be wrong. You could be, oh, Team Fortress 2! Play that, for example. And I'll check it up. And I think that's valid, so you wouldn't be copyright for that anyway. Maybe I'll do that. I just threw Team Fortress 2 out there because I used to play it years. I haven't played that in app for years, so I don't know how good it'll be at it. But again, the point was that's an FPS where this isn't. And also, Team Fortress probably won't be a good one, thinking about it, because I would like something with single player. Because again, I have a baby in the house now, and it's easy with Ashes. I get interrupted with her crying. I've got to go and check on her to pause and then unpause it and stuff. Obviously, in a deathmatch, online can't do that. That's why when I record Star Citizen now, it's generally in sessions. And Zoom TV, you're okay to watch her? Thank you. But obviously, I can't have Zoom TV watching her for every single episode I do because she works as well. That's why it's hard for us to get together jointly and do things. Like it's struggling to do Divinity together right now, but that is turn-based, so that does help. It's not real time or anything because of the situation with our baby and where we live right now. Anyway, that's a gist of what I've been asking for and why I'm showing this. And now I guess I should talk about the actual game. And remember when I did this, it's again I originally said I'm going to do these 5 hours worth of 20 episodes all in the same day. Didn't happen. Again, life, babies, stuff in the way. I'm doing this roughly, actually I forgot the date I started this. But anyway, it's 21st of March right now. I've got a feeling it was last week, Thursday or Friday we started. It might be wrong, it might have been earlier in the week, I don't remember. I told you the date when that episode, 19 episodes ago anyway. But the point is, this was done on that date. So I've got like a week here, or possibly 2. I don't think it was 2 weeks back, but possibly a week-ish, where obviously I haven't done this map. This is also technically the first and second map, if I'm not mistaken, because I did that first map with the 2-player thing, and I think I'm trying to remember. Did we pause it because it ended episode 1 with it? I paused it, in episode 1, and then I jumped into this game to the end. Win, lose, don't want to give it away. Did this game to the end, and then came back for episode 2, where I continued that first map we were doing. What we obviously already seen it, and I believe I lost that because that 2-player one I kept losing. So yeah, this is technically the first map I've done fully since I came back to playing again for this session, even though I already had a small 15-minute-ish run with that 2-player map. So last few episodes I feel I've been playing a lot better out of the past, like I said, 19 episodes. Obviously this, it may be not as good since this was technically my first full map back. So just keep that in mind when you're watching this episode and next episode. If you're like, oh, you were doing that mistakes like 15 episodes ago, why are you still doing it? This was literally on episode 1 when I was doing this, like this particular game for the next 2 episodes. So that's why. Okay, so let me try and get the gist of this now. And next episode I'm going to talk more about this game over it instead of telling you about everything else. Okay, so I am the 4 players in it. It looks like we were doing. It looks like blues were already out at this point. Obviously I'm in this corner. Oh yeah, and I can't get out this corner, can I? Looks like. I forgot, was this every man for himself? I think this was every man for himself. So it's the orange and the... Oh, it's not orange. What do we call it? Mustard colour? Baker. I guess they're more of a grey colour. Both fighting each other, but also hammering me at this point. Him in the corner. Oh, another very quick rundown. As I am talking over this, I am using my editing program. And by using the editing program, I have to have this up blurred. So, like, I can't read my name, for example. It says IVATOPIA, but I can't read it. It's like, I don't know what that is. Kind of an A. I can see the T, the O. I cannot tell what the next thing is. And so I can't see any stats for that reason. But obviously when I export it, it is just as clear as butter as it would be when I was playing it. So if it comes up with stuff, so if I'm missing the odd thing here and there, for example, that's the reason why I can't see it properly. Because it's in the editing program right now. And I'm looking at my thing, we're recording for 12 minutes. I think I stopped exactly 50 minutes, so I'll only got about 3 minutes of this, and then I'll export this. Anyway, so it seems here, I think, if I could be wrong, because again, I've been talking a lot over instead of following the game here, and again, it's almost a week, 2 weeks old. I think I finally got my first Dreadnought out there. I could be wrong, and you're like, oh, you got it out 10 minutes ago. But if not, I've got Dreadnought out. And as you see, I seem to be focused trying to get one army up there, because I'm trying to keep my forces as big, and I'm getting hit from the bottom, as big as possible to fend off the 2 stronger people. The drawback to that, as you can see, they can hit me from the bottom, and now as I'm going there to try to stop that, I'm leaving myself open there. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken if I'm remembering wrong, but I think the orange take advantage of that in a second on me. Oh, so we'll find out in a minute if I'm remembering that correctly. If I am, there's a little spoiler. If it's not, then just don't know what I said. But yeah, what my ideal situation would be to have 2 or 3 dreadnoughts with an army where they're heading, and 2 or 3 at the top with roughly the same amount of army for both. But I think there's still the small army I'm building there. So like, see how my dudes do that laser thing, that electric. Some of them do that to them, and they slaughter them. Oh, I actually overtaken them here. That's a winning. Woo! You see, I'm still trying to get my quantums up there, so that's also something I tend to do. It doesn't help you early on, but once you finally get going, you can really push the extra damage, the extra defense, and they can really turn the tide. Your smaller group could be a lot stronger than their bigger group. That's why I always tend to go for that, and I also feel it slows my start down a bit, though. That's the drawback to it, but if I can get through my start, it generally helps me more in the end game, etc. See, there. Okay, so I was right and wrong. I thought the orange took advantage. Baker took advantage, so he sent a few at the bottom. I dealt with them, and then he sends some from the other side. And I've just realised on the little mini-map, yeah, that was orange before, Baker owns it all. But they haven't sent many there, luckily. So they like split the forces. But still, as you can see, they're still doing a bit of damage because I don't have much up there. Some of my new units just popped up or shown up there. Alrighty then. Looks like I've still got some of the engineers there. helping push. I'm assuming that was for my dreadnoughts. I'm trying to get another dreadnought out to try and turn this around, because even though I'm stuck in a corner, I'm hoping, because it's every man for himself, either to hammer each other, keep myself occupied where I can slowly grow out, and then smash them. Just hit my fist into my hand there, if you hear that smacking sound. When I went, smash them! Oh, it says I'm recording 15 minutes, so I bet we're going to stop this. There it is, there's a credit. So please like, please subscribe, please see you next time, where we'll finish this part of the game and have a great wonderful day. Remember putting the comments and stuff like I said earlier. Have a great one day. Bye everyone!